Welcome back to a special Yankee Fisherman live from outside the Orvis flagship retail store in Manchester, Vermont. John Kovach with you. We're going to talk fishing in this hour. We are not only in the shadow of the retail store, but we're 100 yards from the American Museum of Fly Fishing. Cathi Comar, the director of that, joining us. Thanks so much. It's nice to finally meet you. That's the beauty of these remotes, is I meet people who I talk fishing with all the time.
It's great to finally meet you, too.
Now, you've got your fly fishing festival coming up tomorrow.
We
or
do.
Saturday, I'm sorry, Saturday.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Saturday. Tell us what people can expect there.
Well, it's a full day event for us on site at the museum. It's from 10 to 4, and you can see a lot of different demonstrations. We have casting workshops. We have a lot of fly tyers. We have somebody demonstrating the Governor Aiken bucktail streamer.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because I heard about that and then saw it in the flyer. How did that become the state fly of Vermont?
You know, it seemed, I recently met the person who got it through the legislature here in the state.
Oh, no, this is official. I thought this was unofficial. Oh, wow.
No, this is official. It was just passed last year.
Oh, wow.
But he got it through very quickly. There's a lot of interest in heritage in the state of Vermont, and fly fishing is a large part of it. And this person did the research into the development of the Governor Aiken streamer, which is a wet fly that goes underneath the water, and he was able to just demonstrate how important it was to the culture and history of Vermont, and got it through the legislature as the official fly fish.
How important is the culture of fly fishing to this area?
It's very deeply rooted. By the middle of the 19th century, this area was a tourist attraction specifically for fly fishers. You know, of course, we had other people who were using spinning equipment, but a lot. It was mostly promoted with fly fishing, and the Orvis really was the family that really pushed it with the tourism. Charles Orvis's brother was the one who built and developed the Equinox Hotel here in town before Charles Orvis even opened his store making rods.
So really, Orvis is a keystone to the fly fishing attraction that is the Bat and Kill in Manchester.
Absolutely. Here in Manchester, as well as the rest of the state, going into New York State, the Bat and Kill goes into New York State and goes into the Hudson River. So they had a large economical impact, positive impact in this area.
Does it retain that? Is it still the draw?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think most of the people who first and everybody the museum is, and they always send everybody next door to come take a look at the artifacts.
And that's got to be a real boon to you, to be right next to the Orvis store, that people can come and they can just a few steps away visit the museum.
It is, and that was actually one of the reasons we purchased the property next door. Our property before this one was about half a mile up the road on the same road here, Main Street in Manchester. But in 2000, the opportunity came up to purchase the 5 acres next door to Orvis. It has a casting pond, has a little stream going through the back of it, and being next door to Orvis, it was just a no-brainer for our board at the time to purchase the property, renovate, and move in, and we opened in 2005.
And that's a super move. Now, you brought some items with you, some displays. Tell us a little bit. I see some blade.
Is a in the second case are of early 19th century, and then some of them are well into the 20th century.
And some of those you really can't figure out how anybody was able to work, since really just look at just how do you do this? I wouldn't even know where to start on some of those.
You know, the people who are into reels are engineers. They have And if anybody who knows and his ear,
There's such real. It truly is music to the ear of an angler. And there's a beauty in fly tying. And in front of us, you have a display of works by Jack Gartside, and primarily saltwater flies. We have some wet, some bait fish examples. Gurglers in here, which are it's a topwater salt fly. This is tremendous. Were these all tied by Jack?
they were. And Jack died a number of years ago, and a group of his friends contacted the museum pretty soon after his death just to say that they felt that his work needed to be preserved, which they were absolutely right. The gurgler is one of those saltwater standards that everybody has. I think
you get it into the water, and you've created that of life that you need fish. Now you're also at the fly fishing festival on Saturday, taking a look to the future of reel making. They're going to 3D print a reel.
Yes, this is really exciting. We are so happy. We published an article. We have a quarterly journal, and we published an article in our recent journal about a man who makes reels using 3D printer. And so he is actually going to be here on Saturday with this printer printing reels so that people can see how he puts a three-dimensional functional reel together.
That is just incredible, and that's reason enough to go.
Absolutely, and I think it demonstrates that the sport is still evolving, the equipment is still evolving, and history is being made today.
And the history of fly fishing, past to future, at the American Museum of Fly Fishing, right next to Orvis. What's the address, Kathy?
We're at 4104 Main Street, which is Route 7A in Vermont.
Saturday, August 8th, the Fly Fishing Festival, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Fly tires, exhibits, the 3D printing of a reel. Can't wait to have you back on, and cannot wait to be back up here. Cathi Comar of the American Museum of Fly Fishing, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.